We visited Avatar Last Airbender, and then got some random questions. So, Avatar Last Airbender, y'all far out.
First thing I just kind of want to say about it, just right off the bat, it's one of the best cartoons, shows in general, like one of the best. And the only reason I'm not saying the best is because I believe there is one above it. But personally, I watched it since it aired. I watched it every single day that as it was coming out as a kid. I was on the hype from the beginning. Hell the fuck yes! It's about time they got their credit it deserved.
Yeah, I think it's probably one of the best American cartoon TV shows, if not the best. Like, it only ran for 3 seasons. Like, it's an amazing show. Like, Fred, like, we watched it from the beginning all the way through. Good character development, dialogue. You know, the animation is what it is for the time. I think if it was redone, like, there's nothing I dislike about that show. And, like, I'm glad it's on Netflix. People who haven't seen it can watch it, and it can finally get the credit that it's due. And I think it's build up further hype for the live action TV show.
I'm just saying this one thing as well. It had one of the best character arcs, and like a full turn of redemption arcs, everything in general, like true conflict, like period. Like I'm just in media. Talking about Zuko's redemption arc, everything.
I'm gonna fuck it up. All right. Okay, so for the people who don't know, I just watched this show this year. All right, my first time saying that. I didn't watch it when I was young. I watched certain episodes. I didn't watch the show in its entirety. First time watching it in its entirety was this year, probably a month or two ago. I think the show's good, but I don't think it's as great as everybody else says.
Of course.
I mean, I think it's.
I wish I could throw a shot.
Great character development. I don't get it. You know what I'm saying? I think it's a really good show that we produce, and like it's a great American animated show. But like, it's not to the point to where I was never to the point where I get super emotionally invested every time where I get hype on some shit. And I think the ending is fantastic. One of the best endings. I know I'm big on characters and endings. It's just certain characters often get on my nerves. Sometimes I feel like some people are underutilized. It's good. I'm just not that person who puts it like on the Mount Rushmore like shows for me.
I will say one thing, okay, just fun fact. There was supposed to be a 4th season, the last book. It got cut off because they were actually ended up making the movie adaptation of it, which was a colossal waste. But they did end up actually making the 4th season in comics and graphic novels. If you haven't read it, I honestly do say go do it because it answers all the unanswered questions that were left in Avatar: The Last Airbender. It answers all the missing questions.
I think
it's cool.
I think Avatar, as an American-made cartoon, because that's what it is. It's a cartoon. It's not anime, but I think it does deserve the recognition it gets. I mean, I'm an Uncle Iroh fan. Uncle Iroh is, to me, like an Uncle Phil from Fresh Prince, bro. He helped build one of the best character developments there is, bro. Zuko didn't know who the fuck he was from the beginning, and then he was fucking. I mean, come on. What's the song he sings for his son? How can you
Leaves from the vine.
Yeah, how can you
falling
not
so slow?
And then, to me, Uncle Iroh is one of the best characters.
The Dragon of the West.
Don't disrespect him like that. He's the best. What do you mean, one of the best?
Okay. I mean, Paul got a point. My brother has a point. He says, not one of the best, the best.
Yeah.
I mean, I like all the characters. I see some of the annoying characters you're talking about, Big Dog. I think Sakura is one of the most annoying characters.
Sakura's annoying as hell.
I couldn't fuck with Sakura. She had minimal character development at best. Okay. But no one had better character development like Zuko, in my opinion.
Wait. What's up?
Y'all said Sakura. Y'all mean to
What's her name?
Katara?
Yeah,
Katara.
Yeah. Okay.
She's in there. She's in the area to me with Sakura and Hinata.
I have to slightly disagree with that one, but anyway, keep going.
Yeah.
She's more useful of the three, but she's still in the same category. Yeah.
I feel like she had great development overall through the entire story as well. Like even I'm going off of childhood trauma. I was built up because the way I was looking at it is Aang was being the kid.
Every time she talks, skips. I did not like Sakura. I mean, Katara at all.
I still think she had the
female character. Toph was way completely better.
Oh, I love Toph. Toph was amazing. But I still feel as far as character development, I feel like she grew quite a bit, even confronting her past.
Okay, Fred, let me ask you this. Do your reason for liking the character because how much they were developed or how much you didn't necessarily like the character? Because I do agree that Katara had more character development than Toph, but I think I like Toph's character more.
I agree. Same thing. I like Toph more because I like her personality. But I like the fact that Katara had the full character development, so that's kind of in her bucket. And Katara and Toph, I like
how did that
both.
character explain her development to me? Because
Fred,
every time somebody mentions, every time Avatar: The Last Airbender, their number one thing is going to is character development. When Zuko didn't know who he was from the very beginning,
Zuko was the best.
The only thing he did was like switch. You know what I'm saying? He didn't know. He never knew who he was. So the only thing he did was pick a side toward the end. And Katara,
there was an actual struggle there emotionally for him to actually pick it.
Okay.
It wasn't just as simple as picking a side. It was actually turmoil and everything in general. It's going for Zuko. Going for Katara, basically, I mean, basically her answering her childhood trauma that she had. Because that's one thing I noticed. They dealt with a lot of the characters' trauma that they actually had dealing with and going on. Like, again, going off the top, having to deal with her blindness by learning earthbending and actually being able to expand everything in general, letting people in. Going with Katara, which y'all keep asking me in general, she was kind of like the big mom, the more responsible one, which even then afterwards she still was. And then her being able to actually accept more, again, romantic feelings have always been there, but they were kind of, in season one, they're kind of just thrown at her. Where later on, especially her relationship with Aang, and even choosing between Aang and Zuko at one point, you kind of felt tension, everything growing there. There was, like I mentioned before, the one single episode dedicated to her near the last of the season, during the Earth Kingdom trials and everything was going on. How they actually had to team up. How can I put it this way? I just feel like she had deals, even whenever the first season she had the issues with Jet, and it came up later, trust issues, developing bonds, even with her character. She had more of a mother figure. I need to be able to piece them together easier. I'm putting them all together at once. That's my issue. I need to actually be able to more.
She trusted Jet and turned around and trusted Zuko. Like, where's there's no development in that. She just and she trusted him again at the end. Granted, that worked in her favor, but like, I just
no. At the end, she trusted him. But if you don't remember, there was an episode. If you remember at the beginning, again, when she trusted Jet the first time, yes, 100% that happened. But there was an episode in the second season where she didn't even trust Jet at all, and Jet kept trying to prove that he was trustworthy. It was actually Sokka and Aang who had to trust Jet. Yes, of course, I know, I agree. Because until Sakura, sorry, I keep calling her Sakura now. Before Katara could actually even go and trust him at all. And something similar did happen with Zuko too, where she was the last one to trust him, whereas honestly Sokka was the first one yet again to trust him. So if anything else, that was actually a trait of Sokka being able to forgive the people of the past because of his new leadership role, which again goes to what happened. He grew from just being a kid who was in charge of the village and everything to an actual leader, an actual general. So those are the things I'm going to. Like, again, I'm jumping a lot of the middle ground, but the middle ground to me is what makes it.
Okay. Why isn't Aang one of the best character developments? His whole nation was wiped out by the Fire Nation, and then he went missing for 100 years. So why?
The reason I haven't mentioned Aang was because I was giving the side characters some peace. But no, Aang, even from the point he ran away from the beginning. One of the best episodes is the Storm, where they actually talk about Aang and Zuko's backstory. That basically what happened to actually affect them. Aang ran away. Aang didn't want to confront being an Avatar. The whole story is his character development of him not wanting to become the Avatar, not wanting to be this, even though he already is, accepting his fate, moving along, training, saving the world. So yes, that's obvious character development. But I was mentioning the other ones because I felt like maybe they didn't get enough highlight. Or
No, I do. I feel like I ain't had character development. I just feel like every time somebody brings up why Avatar: Last Airbender, it just go to everybody's character development. I didn't feel like everybody's was that great. I feel like they developed a bit, like not to the point of.
I think where maybe Fred like gets off is like you talk about Aang. Aang was a pacifist. Aang didn't want to hurt anybody. So struggle with stopping a man who would kill is to me it kind of said like this thing. Like Superman doesn't like to kill, but have to stop somebody who is willing to kill. So I think if you go down a couple levels, like him trying to stop the Fire Lord, this man didn't care. And finding the way, I don't want to spoil it, but for the way that he found to stop him, I think that was a lot of Aang's angst and turmoil that he had internally. It's like, man, like I've got to train, and I don't like to do this. This is not who I am. How do I
violence? Period.
Like,
but
I'm not a person, so I think internally, right? Like I can recognize, like I don't want to fight you, like I don't want to hurt you. I just want you to stop. I want you to understand that these people deserve to live in peace and do and practice their bending the same way that you've been able to, right? So I think for that character development, for him to come to that point and to come up with the solution to the problem that he did, I think that was great. I think for Zuko, it kind of goes back to that daddy issue thing, right? Like he had this sister who excelled at everything. Like she was just great. And his dad really gave him a fool's errand to go find someone who'd been gone 100. Like Zuko, he just wanted acceptance. Like he just wanted to be included, and he wanted to didn't get it. And then he meets this guy that he's supposed to capture, give him redemption. And this guy is willing to embrace him and open him. Like, hey, like you don't have to do this. There's another way to go about living life. And I think for Zuko to kind of turn, because he only known anger and power, just like Vegeta. Like he's a lot like Vegeta. Like Vegeta, that anger and power, like where we are with the anger, right? Learning to be calm and spirit control, right? Like I think for Zuko. So I do agree with you. Like it did irritate me sometimes, but I do see what they mean. I like the character development. Take it like the cartoon. Like they have some relatable issues in the everyday world that you can relate to.
And to me, it was just like every single character had something they were dealing with, not just internally. Like again, internally for Toph, like her parents, issue with authority, etc. They all had something that was there, and that relates to multiple different people, obviously, but it's there nonetheless. I mean, like loss of a parent, different things like that. I mean, even everybody's touched. Everyone on that has touched that point. Probably not as Toph, but every character has had that kind of relation during the animated series. But it's just that's the reason I'm going. To me, like the biggest thing with The Last Airbender is not the end results or where it even started, but the journey itself. And that's to me what actually makes the character, the actual seeing of the development, that actually makes it great. Because you actually can see, and again, like you said, it's relatable.
That makes great points. Listen, I just think I agree with what y'all saying. Hey, y'all made some fucking fantastic points.
I don't think I'm as biased as Fred is. Like I think Fred just loves this fucking show. Like I do quite enjoy it. I'm actually rewatching it now. Like my daughter, I turned it on one day and she sat down, and it was so funny. I was watching an episode and she was kind of watching it. I didn't think nothing of it, and then the next episode started, and I could hear her whispering, "Fire, earth." When that's in the show, I was like, "Oh shit!" So like now, like she's into it. Like she sits down and she watches the episode. She's getting older. She recognizes the humor when they do something funny. Like she's actually into the show. So like we're watching it now. So I'm going through it again. I can see the parts we talking about where it's annoying and like that doesn't make sense. You know, as a kid, like there are concepts we didn't get. You watching it now, so it's probably very different. We watched it, there was obviously stuff like I may not have gotten. Like that was something I pointed out to my wife. Like I was like, oh, I didn't catch that as a kid. Like I remember this, but I didn't catch it. No, I get your point. Like there's some stuff in there that like even though it's 3 seasons short, it definitely has some filler episodes. And now, like, I think it's too short of a show to be throwing into filler episodes. Like, you got 3 seasons. Like, why is there filler in here? Like, I feel like it could have been done a little better. So no, I do see it.
But actually, just mentioning on that point, I think the thing that basically a lot of people also give it credit for, besides development, was actually balance, and not so much because of the Avatar, but because they would have balanced mature themes with children entertainment. You know how children usually, as kids, you like to watching the villain of the week, or the Power Rangers. You saw the villain of the week. They were able to make a good balance between both while telling a story. And that's another thing it gets really good credit for, besides the character developments anyway. Is that you're able to hit those tones. You're able to hit those different varieties at different levels that appeals to a wide variety of audience. And that's just the perfect example right there.
Oh, I think all the characters in it, even the side characters, they all had balance and the character development. Like nobody just like overlapped in character development. Like they all came up together, and like even the side characters, you got to know Uncle Iroh. I will always go back to Uncle Iroh. Uncle Iroh was the biggest fucking character development sidekick ever. This dude made a man who didn't know who he was. And honestly, Uncle Iroh, he was never with the war. Be honest, like he was against his brother. Was it his brother or his nephew? Which one?
His brother.
His brother.
Ozai, brother.
Yeah, his brother, right? He was always against his brothers for fighting in the war. He fought the war because, well, it's been 100 years. They've been fighting the war for 100 years. This is the next thing to do. Okay, or when he tried to take Ba Sing Se, I mean, it was one of his greatest failures. But I don't think he failed at it. I think he didn't take Ba Sing Se.
He actually stopped because his son died. That's why he came back.
Okay. And then he comes back for it later, and he's trying to take it away from the Fire Nation. I mean, Uncle Iroh is one of my favorite characters, period, in any cartoon. And like I'll say it again, I watch a bunch of anime. I won't get anime tattoos, but I'll get Uncle Iroh tattoo. That is one thing I would do.
I like the character.
Avatar, I think it deserved what it got. Maybe it turned people to like open up and look better.
Yeah.
I think it's good. I never said it wasn't good, or is it? I'm not. It's not on my Rushmore like TV show.